Yeah, good evening, one and all. Welcome. Welcome you to the International Webinar Series on Holistic Health, Well-being and Sustainable Development 2022-2023, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence, and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute, Center for Art, Sciences and Well-being. So before we start today's session, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's session. Today is a very auspicious occasion, as today we are celebrating Radha Saptami. It is also known as Magha Saptami, and it is the seventh day in the bright half of Shukla Paksha of the Hindu month. And as we have seen, there are various commemorations, especially in Sanatana Dharma, where every species on the planet is treated at par with every other species. So that is the greatness of Sanatana Dharma. It is a truly secular and it's a truly, humanistic approach, and a truly religionless or religionless, casteless society, and a system where everyone is treated equally and respectfully with dignity and with equal opportunities. And it also provides an opportunity to express our gratitude equally to each and everyone, both living beings and non-living beings, and also the celestial bodies, which are now termed as, celestial bodies by the modern astronomical societies. We are aware that the sun god is represented turning his chariot, that is Ratha, drawn by 7 horses, representing 7 colors towards the northern hemisphere in a northeastern direction. It also marks the birth of goddess sun or Surya. Hence, it is celebrated as Radha Saptami or Surya Jayanti or sun god's birthday. So Radha Saptami is also a symbolic of the change of season from winter to spring and start of the harvesting season. For most Indian farmers, it is an auspicious beginning of the new year, and the festival is also observed across the world. As we can see in Sanatana Dharma, sun worship or Surya worship is deeply rooted in the culture and traditions, even it date backs to the Vedas, the oldest and the ancient script ever available to the humankind. And it relates to several, references. Even we can see various references are available even in China, Egypt, Mesopotamia civilizations. The sacred, you can see in Rig Veda and other Vedas, the Gayatri mantra of the sacred Vedic chants to sun god is recited every day with great reverence. So we know that the sun has evolved much more than any other planet or any other celestial body. So this tradition or worshipping of sun has been as oldest tradition as the evolution of the sun. And it has also got a lot of religious and spiritual significance. As these, the representation of 7 horses are also represented as 7 colors of the rainbow and also as 7 days of a week, starting with Sunday. And the day of sun is also Sunday. The chariot has 12 wheels, which represents the 12 signs, zodiac signs, each of 30 degrees of the total zodiac 360 degrees, and consisting a full year named Samvatsara. That's how we call, every year as a Samvatsara, because each zodiac sign is almost 1 month, and the sun house is Leo, the Simha, and he moves from one house to the next house every month, and the total cycle covering all the 12 zodiac signs, that is 30 degrees of the entire of the total 360 degrees, takes 365 days to complete. Thus, an year is formed. And today's occasion and the celebration also marks the increase in temperature across from South India and awaits the arrival of spring. It also marks both the birth of Surya and also the sage Kashyapa, and also his wife Aditi. So on this special occasion, special prayers are offered to sun god. Even those who are not having children or progeny worship sun god today to seek the blessings. And we can see various idols of sun god and temples across the world. And today it is widely celebrated. Though during earlier reigns, invasions of Muslim and other Britishers and other Muslim invaders, most of the temples were destroyed, and but still we can see the ancient culture and tradition still exist. And because of such acts of the invaders, history cannot forget them and cannot forgive them. They never have been, promoters of any culture or tradition, have acted in such a manner that they will ever remain shameful and the most remembered for their destruction and for their notorious activities. So even sun or goddess sun, or also referred as Surya, also referred as Surya Narayana, or also referred as God Vishnu, is the source of energy. And on this occasion, various prayers and hymns are offered like Aditya Hrudayam, Gayatri Mantram, Surya Ashtakam, Surya Sahasranamam, and etc. after sunrise and at the time of sunset. And on this special occasion, in Tirumala, Tirupati, the presiding deity of Lord Malayappa Swami, along with his divine consorts, Sridevi and Bhudevi, are taken to a position on Tirumada streets in Tirumala. And today is also known as Mini Brahmotsavam in Tirumala, as the day starts with Surya Prabha Vahanam. There are different vehicle processions from morning 5:30, starts with Surya Prabha Vahanam, then followed by Chinnashesha Vahanam, then Garuda Vahanam, then Hanumanta Vahanam, then Chakrasnanam, then Kalpavruksha Vahanam, Sarvabhupala Vahanam, and finally the day ends with Chandraprabha Vahanam at the night, to seek and give grace the devotees with blessings on each Vahanam, that is vehicle, from the temple around the temple streets, the holy temple streets, Tirumada Vidis of Tirumala Tirupati. This is a wonderful occasion. Everyone should not miss this wonderful opportunity, as every year, this is the only day where you can see all the vehicles, all the, Vahanams. On a single day, you can see from morning to evening, the God, that is the concert, along with his concerts, take position around the temple in the Tirumada Vidis. So it is a wonderful occasion, and everyone, once in a lifetime at least, have to visit and seek the blessings of Lord Sri Venkateshwara Swami, also referred to as Sri Vishnu, who is none other than the Kali Yuga Daivam of this Kali Yuga. So with this short description, we will conclude this commemoration of Radha Saptami today. And we have various other days. Today is also International Reducing Carbon Dioxide Emissions Day. Since global warming effects around the globe, reducing CO2 carbon dioxide emissions to control the effect should be a global event, which brings us to International Reducing CO2 Emissions Day, which is held on January 28th every year. Since carbon dioxide is such a big contributor to the climate change, this event intends to change the way countries around the world operate over the time. This day seeks the aid of world's transition to a cleaner environment. Over centuries, people saw rapid development, urbanization, which created obvious climate changes. Rainfall patterns change, weather fluctuated, and even natural calamities arise. And however, not even scientists believed that humans could influence the planet's climate. By 19th century, however, the world suspected the existence of ice ages and other climate changes. Around the same century, we identified the greenhouse gas effect, and the world realized how much emissions can really affect the climate. By 1990s, multiple research streams had formed to study climate change, emissions, and their effect on planet. But how on earth did we arrive at such a state that release of every little bit of energy needs to be scrutinized for its potential impact on the planet? After all, carbon dioxide has been present since the earth was formed. The answer is simple. As the scientists began to study the emissions human created, they realized one thing: more humans equal to more emissions. And the more emissions we put out in the world, the more we negatively affect our planet. So economic growth, industrialization, and other growth factors saw emissions climb at unprecedented rate. After 1950, the world shifted. Countries saw fortunes rise, and many of these emerging economies also added to the global emissions. So climate change research after 1990s has made a significant contribution to the global response to the climate change, to the point that we know exactly what to do to mitigate the worst effects. The aim to raise public awareness at a point or to the point where governments will support anti-emission measures. Data shows globally carbon dioxide emitted is 150 times higher than the emissions in 1850. The developed and developing worlds both contribute to this cause, with top 5 countries being China, United States, India, Russia, and Japan. And they have a notable increase in carbon dioxide emissions in 2011. On December 12, 196 countries officially adopted a legally binding treaty in Paris to collectively limit global warming in 2015, the Paris Agreement. And climate activist Thunberg makes a double crossing of the Atlantic Ocean to attend 2 climate conferences. She chooses sailing in place of flying, as it has the smallest carbon footprint. In 2019, Greta Thunberg's Atlantic voyage. On January 28, 2021, General Motors announces they will phase out all gasoline and diesel-powered passenger cars, increasing their production of electric cars. Other major vehicle companies like Ford, Volvo follow suit with similar promises, reducing emissions the motorway. So globally, industries and governments are introducing multiple measures to control emissions. They include switching to fuel-efficient practices, using renewable energy, recycling, and much more. The lowest carbon dioxide emissions were present around 500 million years ago at around 4,000 parts per million. And then during the period in the last 2 million years, when the levels dropped to around 180 parts per million. James E. Hansen, an American adjunct professor, is credited with talking about subsequent raising broad awareness of global warming in the West. So how to reduce carbon dioxide emissions? There are few tips like keep your tires inflated. Lower tire pressure means they work harder to take you places, waste gas, and increase emissions. So always maintain proper air in the tires of your vehicles, and also create, support, be vocal about local, supporting local economy and buying local goods that didn't require, a fly of a few miles or transportation, and which is also healthy and also reduces emissions. And also You can paint your roofs with white color, which also makes home cooler and also uses less electricity, as you can reflect more sunlight this way by painting your roofs white. And doing a full load of laundry in cold water means you are using less energy for heating and reducing your carbon footprint. So wash clothes in cold water, even manually or through washing machines. And instead of throwing things away, try out a fun way of upcycling or recycling projects for regular household items. You can also try giving them away or donating them to the needy instead of consigning them to a landfill. So humans are significant, and this is never more evident than we consider consequences of our actions on the planet that has a huge impact. So we have the power to reduce emissions and in doing so impact our future. Today is also Global Community Engagement Day, a day to celebrate humanity's greatest efforts to make this world a better place. It is a process of engaging with community groups to address and solve issues that impact the well-being of the community. Together, we can do so much, which is why community engagement is important. And this is a special day to learn more about community engagement and what community engagement is, and to create awareness of individuals working collaboratively to address and issues within the community, making this world a much better place for everyone. The Global Community Engagement Day was started by organization Engage to Act, which is the fastest growing networks of community engagement practitioners from Australia and across the world, according to their LinkedIn page. Engage to Act is a collective of individuals committed to progressing high-quality community engagement practice. It started as a small group in Southern Australia. A former board member of the organization, Andrew Coulson, thought if other silly things like donuts and socks have special commemoration days, community engagement deserved a special day. So he made the whole team hop up on this idea. In December 2017, the Engage to Act team members used social media to start a poll. They asked their social media followers who the most inspiring community engaged leader was, and they met in their lives. Wendy Sarkison was the top voted person in that poll, and they made her birth date January 28th, Global Community Engagement Day. So today, let's thank all the awesome community groups, volunteers, and patrons that we have come across over the years and make our community a great place to be. Cheers to all who work hard to keep our communities healthy through engagement. Today is also Data Privacy Day. As the line between our offline and online lives continues to blur, data privacy on January 28th is a little nudge we need at the beginning of New Year to make safeguarding our personal information a priority. Although we live in an increasing digital world, most of us give little thought to our data privacy until after our personal data has been compromised. So our increased reliance on digital technologies to manage every facet of life necessitates the need to rethink what we share about ourselves and when and where we share it and whom we are sharing it with. Data Privacy Day is a part of global online safety, security, and privacy campaign called Stop, Think, Connect, an initiative of the National Cybersecurity Alliance. So the need For data privacy is nothing new or unique to the digital age. Our personal information has been at risk for many decades. Personal data has been collected, manipulated, and shared or sold for decades, then manipulated further for the for profit by banking institutions, product manufacturers, political parties, non-profit organizers, ad agencies, polling groups, airlines, grocery store, credit agencies, and many others. Digital technologies have made the collection of personal data easier, both legally and illegally. And with 4.66 billion people in the world who are active internet users, there is an incalculable amount of unsecured data waiting to be pilfered. Data privacy is rarely at the top of anyone's daily to-do list. It was probably not on your mind when you logged on your computer, laptop, or mobile phone this morning to check email, catch the news, check stock prices, and all other ways we routinely use technology to manage our home and business affairs. Most of us are all guilty of being complacent when it comes to safeguarding our most personal information from unseen but prying. Nice. In fact, many people do not understand the difference between data security and data privacy, which may be the reason why so many of us are slack about data privacy. Data privacy is not same as data security. Although two are intimately connected and intertwined, the analogy we like the best helps understand. The difference describes data security is putting bars on the windows to make it difficult for someone to burglarize your home. Data privacy is more like pulling down the window shades so that no one can look inside to see what you are wearing, who lives with you, who are cooking for dinner tonight, or what movie you are watching. So as end users on the technology spectrum, few among us pay attention to the data privacy beyond knowing not to share our passwords with anyone. We trust software and data service providers to be the guardians of the personal data they collect and require from us in exchange for the right to use their products and services. But the personal information collected by the companies today is not regarded as private by default, with few exceptions. The unpleasant truth is that most people who have access to our personal data do not need it. These digital strangers with legitimate access to our personal data are the very people we should be preventing from accessing our personal information because they do not need it. Data Privacy Day is an important day to wake up call for anyone who is on the grid, meaning they can use any type of digital device for any reason, and thanks having spam software and firewalls keeping their data safe. And it also reminds us to treat personal information like money. It has value. We need to protect it as if our lives depend on it, because sometimes they do. So the first international treaty, Convention 108 for the protection of individuals' personal data, is signed in 1981. And first Data Protection Day was initiated by the Council of Europe. The first Data Protection Day was observed in 2006. Observed as an extension of European Data Protection Day, in Europe, Data Privacy Day makes its way to the US in 2008. The United States House of Representatives recognizes National Data Privacy Day, and it becomes official in the US in 2009. Senate Resolution 33 is adopted by Congress, declaring January 28 as National Data Privacy Day. So US Congress designates this day, today, January 28, as National Data Privacy Day in 2014. So your information has value in the hands of cyber criminals. Your stolen data will be sold on the dark net or dark internet or dark web repeatedly for years to hackers and spammers who at best will annoy you with relentless spam, and at worst again, access to personal identifiers like your social security number, your passport, PAN card, and your various ID cards, and also use it to drain your bank accounts, investment accounts, purchase homes and cars, or take fabulous cruisy vacations, all charged to your account. Then who is responsible for data privacy? There are no consensus on who is responsible for data privacy today. While some agree that protecting personal data is the responsibility of the individuals, others think business and governments are in control of this complex issue. The Facebook data privacy scandal involved in the collection of private data from up to 87 million people is the data privacy scandal. So Facebook stands top in the data privacy scandal as it is still collecting, and that is an ongoing process. It has more than 100 million people personal data with it, which is being sold again and again, repeated times to many organizations and individuals. And committing to protecting the privacy of data, first and foremost, if you are not already diligently safeguarding your personal information, your mission today should you decide to accept it, and is to begin taking data privacy seriously. Make the commitment today to learn one new thing each day about the data privacy, and then take steps necessary to ensure privacy of your personal information. Take time today to research how all the digital devices connected to the personal Internet of Things interconnect with each other and with the vast digital universe. This includes your smartphones, modems, TVs, cars, refrigerators, home heating and air conditioning systems, smoke alarms, baby monitors, home alarm systems, and many more. All of these digital devices make life easier to synchronize on your personal Internet of Me. Take the necessary steps today to prevent the personal data necessary to synchronize all of these devices from being shared with those who may want your data, but who do not need your data. And if you are a digitally savvy and enjoying teaching others, then please volunteer to teach a session or a class or give a seminar demonstrating data privacy, especially for older adults. Senior citizens also need to learn the technology best if they are shown how, not told how. A surprising number of baby boomers, they born between 1946 and 1964. The most of the earlier World War II generation had little or no exposure to computers before retiring. So seniors are the prime target of data thieves because their lack of basic knowledge of data privacy, best practices, and sharing your expertise with these grateful citizens will help prevent vulnerable community from becoming victims of cyber criminals. So make sure your computer, laptops, and mobile devices are running the latest versions of operating systems and software. Always try to keep them updated. Regularly review and update your web browser's privacy preferences, delete any cookies, and clear the cache. Because as with the updates, certain features and settings might change, which can affect your data privacy and security. Routers that enable wireless devices to connect to your home internet service are vulnerable to hacking. So if you rent a router from your internet provider, call them to see if you are eligible for a new one or help to update your current router settings. And create different passwords for each of your online accounts. If you have a lot of accounts and find it challenging to keep track of all those passwords, consider subscribing to a password generator tool that generates random passwords for each one of your accounts, but requires you to only remember one. And shred hard paper copies of invoices, financial records, tax documents, legal papers, magazine labels, envelopes, purchase receipts, any paper that has any information about you, because not all data thieves work on internet. So your complacency is a data hacker's best friend. We repeat, your complacency is a data hacker's best friend. So it reminds us to be vigilant. And perhaps the most devastating result of being complacent about safeguarding your personal data is identity theft. By the time you suspect someone else has assumed your identity, they have probably already done a great deal of damage to your name and ruined your credit. Identity thieves are hard to catch and leave a devastating mess behind that will be your responsibility at your expense to repair. And it can take a lifetime to repair the damage. Even if you do not own assets like real estate or having a big investment account, you are still a prime target for identity thieves. We all are prime targets. Data pirates do not discriminate. They steal from everyone and anyone, young or old, doesn't matter. Today is also National Daisy Day. You know, daisies are quite common flowers which are native to Northern Europe, but can be found in Northern America, Australia, Africa, South America, even Ireland and Greeceland. The word daisy comes from the Old English language, days eye, because its petals blossom at dawn and shut at dusk. And it is generally considered as a nuisance member of the weed family, can be used as a supplement gardens and yards. So this occasion is to celebrate the tenaciously beautiful daisy every year. Today is National Kazoo Day. Hope you have used it in or seen in elementary schools. If you have used or played with it, a joyful Nouse Kazoo band member, Chaplain Raff, founded the day in 1983, is meant to celebrate all the ways that playing and listening to kazoo brings happiness to people of all ages. And today is also National Lego Day. Hope you remember this building blocks game, where children were given blocks and they used to build something and keep playing. So this colorful plastic bricks known as Lego has entertained children and adults around the world nearly 70 years. Lego is used to make toy buildings, vehicles, creatures, machines, anything imaginable. They can be taken apart and put back together as often as you'd like. This means endless creative play. So this day celebrates incredibly indigenous or ingenious and enriching toys. And Lego became the world's most powerful brand. In 2017. And the Lego Group began manufacturing the now iconic bricks using an injection mold machine it has recently purchased in 1949. Ole Kirk Christiansen, a carpenter from Billund, Denmark, founded the Lego company to manufacture wooden toys. Later, started manufacturing these plastic toys. in 1932. So what we can do today on this Lego Day, just if you have one, dust off your old Lego set or some block game, use your kids and tinker around for a while. It's a good for relaxation and mental simulation. Lego even sponsors corporate retreats for adults. You can join one. And this is wonderful game. Even this blocks game, with these Lego set, each set contains trillions of combinations. 2 8-pipe Lego bricks can be combined 24 different ways. So the number goes up exponentially with the addition of other blocks. Only 6 of the same bricks can be combined together in over 900 million unique ways. So it's a great time. Now take the bricks and find 900 million unique ways to build. So that's a huge time. Maybe the entire pandemic has have gone just like that. If you were playing that game, right? Okay. So Lego makes 400 million tires a year for its various vehicles, for outstripping any real life tire maker. And a man from UK, James May, built a house out of 3.3 million bricks. It contained a working toilet, shower, and bed with Lego. With those blocks, a person has built an entire house using 3.3 million Lego blocks. And there's a surprising reason behind minifigure design. The iconic hole in the head of the Lego minifigure is not there, as many of suspected as kids, so that you can attach a head to the brick. If there's so, a child can continue to breathe in case he or accidentally swallows it. So be careful. So the injection molds used in creating Lego has tolerances of less than 2 micrometers, meaning the total Lego still fit perfectly with those from 60 years ago. And it is good for the mind. Researchers suggest that Lego and other construction toys can improve a wide range of mental aptitudes in young children and young adults, such as spatial intelligence and hand-eye coordination. So it should also be noted that the Lego is intended for kids old enough not to swallow them and wise enough not to leave them out on the carpet. So make sure you are handing over to the respective age group where it is safe for them to play with. And it is also highly cost-effective toy. It isn't just one toy, it's hundreds. Lego has some of the best mileage out of any toy on the market. It will be years before your child or you can exhaust all the possibilities, or even a small Lego set. So you can just play for years together and keep, experimenting and building. And it is also inspiring. The Lego Group has made Lego bricks since 1949, and the company rebounded from a major sales slump in the early 2000s, becoming the world's most valuable toy company. It's also the world's most powerful brand. All this while remaining privately held and run by the same family that founded it. So happy Lego Day, start playing today. And today is also Earned Income Tax Credit Awareness Day in US. We all are excited at the prospect of its contribution to easing our finances. This is like income tax refund. The taxation was there for several years. I don't know how far it is true, but there is also, it has been also told that Jesus also paid tax according to the Bible. So tax is very important for running any country, but even, it's more so is a tax credit that can come in the time of helpful families out of a financial crunch. Paying taxes is one important way of showing a deep sense of patriotism to our country, as taxes help the government to run smoothly and to be able to serve everyone better. Taxes help to ensure the management and sustainability of the roads upon which we travel, the creation of parks, libraries, and other incentives and generally fund the bulk of the government policies aimed at improving standards of living. The first historical evidence of an organized system of taxation was found in the West in Egypt around 3000 BC. Evidence of this has been found in several historical sources, and it was mentioned in the book of Genesis, where Pharaoh was said to send out commissions to collect 1/5 of all grain harvest as tax. Taxation has evolved since then to include income tax, corporate tax, property tax, sales tax, wealth tax, payroll taxes, capital gain taxes, and a lot more. A tax credit is a much more recent initiative that took root in the later part of 20th century as a measure to ensure ease of life for poor families with many dependents by reducing their tax liabilities. It then went through many forms and reforms up to this present day. So, Earned Income Tax Credit is a scheme by US government to augment the average income of working class citizens. For the US, it is for those earning below $56,000 per annum. Taxes for these recipients are offset depending on their income and marital status, the number of dependents. This initiative is the government's way of reducing the poverty rate while increasing the standard and quality of life of citizens by enabling low-income earners to retain more of their income to bolster their finances. Today is also National Blueberry Pancake Day. Pancakes, so which are especially made with juicy, nutritious blueberries. And today is also National Seed Swap Day. Pull out your garden apron, sharpen your tools, and it's season to plant new seeds and exchange your seeds with your friends and colleagues and start planting and increase your collection. And today is also National Pediatrician Day in US. And we know these, specialized doctors who get their name from the derivation of two Greek words that mean healer of the children, care for arguably the most important members of the society, our children. So they also deserve a day that honors their contribution to healthcare too. So the growth of pediatricians in America is attributed to Dr. Abraham Jacobi, a German pediatrician. He came to New York in 1853, subsequently forming societies devoted to pediatric health and creating children's departments in New York hospitals. His practices inform other medical professionals, and pediatrics as a medical specialty was certified. So that the entire field of pediatrics advanced rapidly, and by 20th century, multiple specialties and subspecialties emerged as the need and interest in varied areas of child health evolved. So does the entire field of pediatrics. So pediatricians only treat children and are trained to recognize childhood illness and take care of children's physical, emotional, and behavioral needs. The Bureau of Labor Statistics puts the demand for pediatricians at an all-time high in the US. They estimate a 10% growth by 2020. So positively rate your practice, rate pediatricians' practice and send new patients their way, or maybe buy them lunch or some gift and communicate your thanks in any way you can by showing some gratitude to pediatricians today and learn more about them who have inspired this field of medicine. And pediatricians need to have tremendous patience, empathy, and kindness to be able to communicate and treat children. As you know, children are not little adults. Their physiology is different, and so diagnosis and even medicines must be different too. This means their physiology is not only different from adults, it changes year after year. Parents and caregivers become the most important people when you take into account the fact children aren't allowed to make healthcare decisions by themselves. And also, pediatricians have to deal with their parents' emotions and feelings. But this takes on a more complex meaning when the patients are immature and learning about their own emotions. And pediatricians care for the vulnerable, the infants to toddlers to teens. Pediatricians care for children until they no longer need parental consent. So they are front line of defense while keeping the youngest members of the society healthy and happy. And pediatricians have also been our source of support during every difficult period in our parents' lives, including teething problems, colds, braces. So we owe them some care and support along with love. So most of us go to doctors only after we get sick, but the responsibility of a pediatrician involves preventive care also. Pediatricians had a very little active role in eradicating diseases that affected young kids like polio and smallpox. Today is also Rattlesnake Roundup Day. So go into the wild and do some rattlesnake watching. Rattlesnakes got their name because of their tail tip, which features a segmented rattle that produces a buzzing sound when they vibrate. So rattlesnakes are beautiful creatures, but they can be very poisonous and their own toxic fatal. Throughout the history of man, snakes have been evolved enemy of man. Some species of snakes have such powerful venom that can kill a man within minutes, while others can be quite harmless. In ancient Chinese society, they placed tigers and snakes on the same pedestal, being the two most dangerous animals in swamps and mountains. In the same way, other cultures like Egypt revered and feared snakes, worshipping them in temples and using them as traps. Conversely, research has found that snakes do not actively prey on humans or pose a major threat aside from the big constrictors. They would rather run away from humans and would not attack except when startled or injured. But humanity's fear of this small but deadly animal has led to the hunt and kill on sight that characterizes our relationship with snakes even till today. Historically, the rattlesnake roundup kicked off in 1958 at Sweetwater, Texas, US. It arose as a result of a wide influx of rattlesnakes that were killing livestock and pets of inhabitants of the community. The city's farmers and ranchers rose and banded together to eradicate snakes. The event soon moved to other communities where rattlesnakes were a bother, and it had since then gone on to become a widely celebrated event where today they go for rattlesnake hunting. Rattlesnake Roundup Day over the years has become a fun festival featuring other events like cook-off, carnival, pigeon show, guided hunts, and flea market. A large number of rattlesnakes caught are killed and sold for the meat and skin, while few are released back to the wild. But over the years, advocates of wildlife preservation have seen reduction of hunts in some areas, but the fun events still largely remain a permanent culture. So do take care of them. Do not kill them unnecessarily. Even not only in Hindu culture and various cultures, even for Christians also, according to Torah and the Bible, God sent serpents to bite and kill many of the Israelites as punishment. And then he commands Moses to make a metal snake, so anyone who looks upon it will be healed. So almost every culture, has been worshipping snakes in one form or other. So rattlesnake bites can be very fatal. So it requires treatment within 30 minutes of the bite. Death can occur within 6 to 48 hours. And they mostly hide in the humid shelter place. They can be found under logs, heavy shrubs, or wood piles, building foundations, or rocks. And in various cultures, as already mentioned, in Africa, Egypt, and India, worshipped snakes since ancient times. And there are numerous breeds of snakes, 3,000 breeds of snakes, of which 600 are venomous and 200 are deadly to humans. And many others are just non-poisonous and non-harmful. Snakes rely on heat from the sun or other light sources to warm up and regulate their body temperatures. So they are solar powered. And snakes do not have eyelids, but rather a thin membrane attached to the eye called brille to protect them. And their jaws are flexible and loosely hinged, allowing them to swallow prey bigger than their heads. Today is also a Thank You Plugin Developer Day in US, which is a day to honor plugin developers and their contributions. A plugin, in a nutshell, is a type of program that is developed to integrate into a WordPress site or any other software or application. Their goal is usually to improve the website by making it run faster or having better graphics and other such features. So it was a day first declared by WordPress developer Matt Mullenweg on January 28, 2009. He purportedly instituted such a day once the number of plugins on WordPress plugin directory has surpassed 4,000 plugins. In an appreciation post, Mullenweg thanked plugin developers for all that they contributed to the WordPress and expressed his enthusiasm for the next 4,000 plugins. So WordPress is still at the forefront of blogging, powering over 28% of all blogs on the internet. Mullenweg was dubbed the blog prince by Power Magazine in February 2009 as WordPress saw a daily increase of roughly 15,000 new blogs. This demonstrated that the blogging era was far from over, just the contrary. WordPress has crossed the 50 million mark by July 2011, since it was powering over 50 million blogs all over the world, consider how much potential there is for plugin developers with many websites. In 2003, WordPress was born by Mike Little and Matt Mullenweg, revolutionizes blogging forever. Even today, it is one of the largest platforms of CMS websites, content management, websites, and many websites, and it is very popular in CMS. Drupal and WordPress are on the top list. Many websites run on this, which run on CMS, run with Drupal and WordPress. Drupal is more, programmers, programmers pet. But those who are not technically, sound or not into programming, WordPress is, much easier. If you need more functionality or if you need customization, Drupal is the best. Or if you just want to, use the features without much customization, WordPress is the easy one and most popular one. So it all depends. If you want lots of customization, lots of programming, coding, then Drupal is the best in the market. Or if you just want, go with the existing themes and plugins, and if you don't need much customization, in this also we can customize. But if you are not too much into customization, WordPress is the easiest one and most popular one. So there are various plugins like Adobe Acrobat, Adobe Flash, Java, QuickTime. These are just some examples. There are many. Actually, a plugin is also known as an add-on or an extension to make it easier to grasp. It improves the functions of a host website without creating any changes to the website program. And you can create and sell web plugins that can be sold on your website or through marketplace like ThemeForest or Code Canyon, or through WordPress official website. And Mullenweg recommends that users look at the plugins that they commonly use or enjoy the most and visit developer websites in his appreciation article. By doing so, the plugin developers can be contacted or potentially get monetary compensation via PayPal. And because the world revolves around the ratings, giving a star rating to any of your favorite plugins in the WordPress plugin directory would be beneficial. Donations are also always welcome. You can show your support for plugin creators by mentioning them on your blog or social media profile. And it's never too late to experiment with new things. Why not enroll in a coding mini course, whether you have no prior experience or a lot of it? It appears to be growing significance as a subject, and who knows, maybe you will be able to create your own plugin one day. And WordPress users create 70 million new articles each month. So it's a huge community. And blogs aren't going anywhere. Around 80% of the internet users are found to read blogs regularly. And around 70% of the consumers says that blogs add to the credibility of any commercial website. And blogs with images receive 94% more traffic than those without it. So pictures are still worth 1,000 words. And more than a quarter of all websites on the internet have blogs, which is significant given the majority of the blog traffic is organic rather than purchased. So even if the concept of plugin isn't fully formed in your mind, its significance must have made an effect. Plugins are used all the time, and they are unquestionably the way of the future. If the exponential growth in plugins is any indication. So there is no substitute time for the wonderful fuzziness that offers to both the expressor and the expressed. The best part is that it doesn't take much. All you need to do is grateful mindset and the ability to communicate it. A simple thank you may always make a difference. And plugin developers are individuals who make website browsing easier. They ensure that we get a seamless and smooth experience and may provide enhancements in ways we will never know. As a result, taking the time to appreciate such people is at the top of our priority list, and thanks to the holidays like today, they will never be forgotten. So with this, we shall conclude today's commemorations. And thank you everyone for joining us today. So we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form, which is being raised in the form of polls. And those who have not yet registered for today's webinar series, we request to register even now. The registration form has been shared in the chat box. We are sharing it again. After filling up the feedback form, you can also fill the registration form. It is same for all the weekdays. Only for special occasions or on Sundays, it is different. Otherwise, it is same. Now, as Sundays also, we are having webinar series. So you can use Sundays evening sessions. The same form. And there is one more important announcement. So we are focusing more on offline events now. So there is an important conference which every year we celebrate or we commemorate in a very grand manner. That is Social Work Day, which is falling on this month, March 21st. So this year, every year, the date changes. So this year it is March 21st, and we are having a conference, international conference. Every year we have almost participants from 40 to 60 countries, and it is one of the unique conference where across the world participants join, present. So we had around last year around almost 2000 and 2000 plus. Before year we had around 1000 plus to 2000 plus participants, registered participants. And today the initial flyer was launched along with its website. So of course the other things are in process. So soon, by today or by tomorrow, you will be having the registration forms available. So you can register for presentations or participation also. So there are all the details will be available on the website. You have to register. All the formalities have to be strictly followed. And there will be a deadline by which you have to submit all your abstracts, papers. After deadline, we will not accept any submissions. And that will be mostly by February end, so that, we can prepare schedules and everything. So mostly by February ending, all submissions will be closed. And there are two kinds of submissions. One is live submission and other is pre-recorded submissions. So pre-recorded is you record session in Zoom or any other platform. You make presentation from your own place at your convenient time, record it and send it along with the application form, or you can register it. In that option, there will be, in the registration form, there will be an option pre-recorded session where you can record it, and you can later on, we will provide you guidelines. You can upload it to Google Drive and you can share that link in the registration form. So the same procedure we are following since last 3 years. We can use the same procedure for pre-recorded session. So what is the benefit of going for pre-recorded session? One thing is, like, many of you or many of us have anxiety or stress or stage fear. You may not be able to present well, at that time. So it is a wonderful opportunity to be prepared and, to overcome, and you can record that presentation at your convenience. And sometimes when it is live, you cannot again redo it. So, yeah, definitely plagiarism check will be done before publication. So definitely avoid plagiarism, because before publishing, all the papers will be going through plagiarism check. We have Twitterin software and other softwares that check for that. So, and also when always avoid, because when it is being published on a public platform, and if something, then we should not always claim it as our own content. So most of the content also we present are from internet and from various other official and non-official sources. Like most of the commemorations we do from United Nations systems website like UNICEF, World Health Organization. We take and paraphrase, or we compile, and sometimes we quote as it is, as quoted by so and so. So you can have multiple authors also. That provision is also there. You can present, and you can also present as many papers as you want. So that is also available. The conference will be there for 10 days, starting from March 18th, that is Saturday, because many of us will be free on weekends. So we thought, let's utilize the opportunity. So we are starting on Saturday and we are ending on Sunday, so that we get 2 Sundays and 1 Saturday. Sorry, 2 Saturdays and 2 Sundays as part of conference. So, but everything should be sent well in advance, well prepared, so that we can schedule accordingly. We will also have both live and pre-recorded sessions. So you can opt for, but what I recommend is go for pre-recorded sessions, so that you can also record them, prepare well in advance, and you can send your recordings along with your abstracts and all other things. And also there are awards for each category, and based on the age criteria and the qualification and various other parameters are there, theme-based awards. So we'll be issuing the best paper award in each category on each theme. Conference themes will also be available soon. Today, mostly by today night, midnight, all the things might be available. Otherwise, in coming days, because recently only the flyer, the official, the flyer has been launched by International Federation of Social Workers, where every year we are collaborating with them and organizing. So this year also, with their collaboration, we are organizing. So it is an international association of social workers across the globe. So the flyer was released. So we are co-branding with the design. So today we have issued with that New Year theme. We have also this year also we co-branded, and we have issued the initial flyer, and there will be one more flyer with detail all those things in coming days. Otherwise, there is also a separate dedicated WhatsApp group created along with the YouTube channel where all the proceedings will be there. We request everyone to bookmark the website, conference website, and also you can subscribe to the YouTube channel of conference so that whenever any content is posted, you immediately get notified and you can watch that. So all these, once this brochure and instructions, rules and regulations are put up, you will receive a notification. We'll also make a video and post how to send out to, that text content will be available on the website, and the video part also will be made available on the YouTube channel. So we request everyone to forward to everyone. This is an wonderful opportunity, yearly once opportunity. You can present on different themes like holistic health, well-being, sustainable development, social work, and inclusion. Almost sustainable development includes everything. So there is no topic that can be, you can present on arts, literature, environment, animals. So everything you can just relate to 17 sustainable development goals and you can present your paper. There is no limit on number of authors or number of presentations. So we'll see unless and until there are, that's why we kept 10 days. So we can have presentations from morning to evening. So no problem. So feel free. And we have also enough time to prepare because it's almost, again, we have 1.5 months. So we all can prepare a very good paper and present it either through pre-recorded or live. And we have 2 modes for this conference. One is online and other is offline. There is no fees or no payment for online conference. You can participate freely and you can get free certificate, free presentation. Everything is free if you have chosen online. If you are choosing offline, which will be held mostly in Hyderabad, in any of the conference, auditoriums in any of the university, that we will tell you. But if you are opting for offline, then you need to pay because we have also a lot of expenditure involved. So last year also we have, every year we are giving option, but always try to avoid because again, at the end of the day, a lot of expenditure is involved. We have to pay for everything, for the auditoriums and for the management, for the staff, for food and snacks. A lot of things are involved, for transportation, conveyance, so it again accumulates huge costs. So let's do it online this time also. We'll have offline also. We'll see number of the participants. And anyway, we have to assemble, our team has to assemble at one place. We will keep working for 10 days there. So we can have some presentations offline also. But for offline, there will be payment, fees, registration fees. Within the same form, you can choose and pay. If you have select online, and then it's free. So choose online and present. Again, there is if you choose offline, you have to travel to the venue. So as it is an international conference, it's convenient for everyone from your own place, you can present. So you can pre-record session and the session will be scheduled on YouTube. And we will be sharing the details on website. No individual mails are sent again. So you have to keep checking website after sending your, because we will be sending anyway, but again it ends up, if the mail ends up in bulk mail or spam mail, or people are not looking also many times, not checking their mails, not responding. All these things are happening, we have seen. But anyway, we will do our duty, but it is your responsibility to keep checking the website so that everything will be available. Even if you miss out the pre-record sessions, we will put a schedule, we'll fix the time and date, where if it is pre-recorded, we will schedule it as a premiere in YouTube, and we'll share you link. You can share link to all your friends and colleagues to watch it live on YouTube, and you can join on that day at that time and be live, because in the chat box we can use chat box to take queries. And also for recorded sessions, we are also planning to have recorded session. If you are not able to present at that time also, if you have recorded, we can play that recording, and you can also be part of that session and take up any queries at the end of the session. So it also helps you to, in case of any technical problems at that time, connectivity issues, or some technical issues, it will help us to conduct smoothly. So whoever has not yet filled the feedback form, quickly fill up the feedback form, and see you all tomorrow at the same time. Take care. Good night. And whoever wish to join for media conference, they can join after 15 minutes with the same link. So take care. Good night.